It does not matter whether you are new on the platform or you are an existing freelancer who has taken many years on the platform. Everybody prepares for an interview. In this video today, I want to tell you my own method of how I prepare myself to go for an interview. And this is why this is a raw video. That means there is no much editing. I am going to explain to you everything that you need to know. Because, like I normally say, I want you to know that I am here as a mentor. And if you love this content, you really like this content and you are enjoying it and it's helpful to you, I want you to share it, hit the subscribe button, the notification bell, so that many more people will get access to it. All right. So there is a way that freelancers, you need to look at yourself. Personally, myself, I do prepare for interviews, no matter how experienced you are. And by the way, I just recorded a video that talks about the 5 things that you need to know if you are receiving invites, but at the end of the day, you go to the interview and then you are not getting those jobs. There are 5 things that you are not doing right, and that is why you are suffering. So I want you to go and watch that video before watching even this video that you are currently watching. Or you can finish watching this one, go back and watch that video, because I am going to link it at the description below. And also I will add a comment about that video, because I want you to watch these 2 videos. They can help you a lot in terms of preparing yourself for an interview. I shared a lot of useful content in that video. Anyways, let's continue. So how do you prepare for an interview? Especially in a competitive environment like Upwork, it's quite challenging. You go to an interview, maybe you have for me, for instance, at one point in time, I had 5 interviews in a week and I did not get any of the jobs. So I learned the hard way. I didn't have someone like me, for instance, explaining some of these things like I'm currently doing. So that's why today I thought this video would be very useful. But one way that you can help this channel is to subscribe and share this information. I would appreciate you, because it's not about you will help a lot of people. That's just what I think, right? Anyways, let's continue. So when I get an invite, the first thing that I do is to small research. And the research is mainly to find out who is this client, right? So few things that I normally do is I will take a look at the client's profile. And secondly, I will also look at the client's history. So what kind of jobs that the client has posted and how many people they have hired. What is their hire rate, okay, that they've done on the platform. If they are new clients, I will know that this is a new client. I would also like to know the name of the client. Basically, I'm just doing a basic research about this client, trying to understand. That's step 1. Step 2 is for me to understand the job. Okay, I want to understand what this job entails, right? Like the job description that the client posted. I'll read through the job and see and just anticipate some of the questions that they probably will ask me. That's why I don't apply for jobs that I'm not a proper fit. I will have to make sure that at least I'm 70% or 80% fit for that job before I can apply. So I would already anticipate some of the questions that they were going to possibly ask me, like the question of tell us about yourself is the common question. Everybody asks you that question, right? So you need to find an answer. The first impression goes a long way. Anyways, we are coming to that. I will do some basic reading of the job description, try to understand what the client needs. The reason for that is I want to know what the clients actually need. So once I identify the needs of the clients on that job description, I know what kind of skill set they would need, what the level of that skill set is. It an intermediate or expert level skill set, and all of those things. So I will analyze the job description. Next, of course, I would have accepted the interview invite and so on and so forth. So I'll be there on time. So make sure you prepare yourself and your environment. All right, not just yourself, but your environment. I think that will be the third point. Your environment, where you sit, like where I'm currently sitting to have this conversation with you, right? Of course, it does not have to be as professional maybe as this one, or maybe as superb as other people, because I am also just having like a basic studio where I just feel like sharing some of this content with you guys. But there are people that are really top notch, right? So you know what I mean. You don't have to have that, but have a proper sitting position, have a proper sitting place where you can sit, and also the client will be able to see you properly, right? So have a proper chair, table where you can sit. You cannot sit in your parlor somewhere, or maybe sit somewhere where the client know that this is not a working posture. You don't have a working posture. When you get to the interview, turn on your camera. I always do that. I turn on my camera. All right. So the reason for that is I want the client to see me, that I'm not just a mediocre. I'm somebody who is a very serious person, and I want them to be able to connect with me, see my body language and so on. It's very important. If the client can see your body language and they know that your responses are related, are directly connected to what you mean, what you're saying, right? So I turn on my camera. There are a lot of people who are shy. Maybe they are not camera people. But I'll tell you, if you want very high paying jobs on Upwork, you have to do this. You have to turn on your camera and have a proper sitting place. You have your internet set up and also your lighting. All right. I mean, when I say light, electricity, I don't mean like having to go and buy. You don't need to spend money, but make sure find a decent place. Even if it's not your place, go somewhere. Even if it's a cafe, have a decent place where you can sit and have the conversation with a client, so that when you win that job, you start making money. Make sure you arrange your sitting posture, because it's very important that the client know that you are not a mediocre, you are a professional person. All right. So when I get to the interview, I would have studied my question. Basically, I would have practiced, and I have done that several times, practicing, making sure that I know, because there are some questions that are normally common, right? Like, tell us about yourself. It's a common question, so I know how to answer it. So when I get to the interview, I don't allow the client to talk alone. When I get there, I would call the client. Hello, hey Jesse, how are you? How are you doing? Like my last client, when I get to the interview, the last client that I got. So when I get to the interview, I called his name. We rescheduled my interview like 2 or 3 times. Then when I get to the interview, what I did was I called his name. I said, oh, hello. I said, how are you? I said, you are a very hard man to get. I know you are a very busy person. In fact, that's the reason why you are trying to hire me. Then he laughed, right? So I kind of carry this humor, like fun, right? I add that because I don't want to go to the interview as if I'm so tense, I'm so nervous, as if it's not a do or die situation. You are the expert. I see myself as the expert. The reason why the client wants to hire me is because I have a set of skill sets the client needs, and I am going there to offer those skill sets. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But I'm not going there like a mediocre, trying to kill myself because I am going for an interview. No, I know the feeling when you don't have a job. I know the need. I know the desperation. But man, cool down. Take it easy. Calm down. And just be focused. All right? Just be focused. Calm down, be focused, and do it like a pro. Then you will get the benefits. You will see those jobs start coming. So normally when I get there, that's the way I keep that rapport. I make sure I ask the client some few questions even before the interview, or maybe I just create some jokes right before the interview begins. And then when they ask me the question, the ultimate, Jesse, can you please tell me about yourself, or tell us about yourself? Then I would now hit the nail on the head, because I had already practiced what to say. And it's not a lie. I normally start with my interview. Now, the key thing there that I will tell you is always make sure when you are responding to the client, especially the question of tell us about yourself, align that answer with what you've written on your profile. Very critical. It's a very good technique that I've been using, and it has been working. It has not been working for every client, but it has been working for clients that I'm interested in, right? So now, don't also get the thinking that you have to win every job. No, you don't have to win every job. You just need to win enough jobs to get you your money on a monthly basis. All right. So when I get there, if you look at my profile, you'll see that there is a way that I organize my profile in such a way that that's the way I go. I tell you about my history, my education, right? I'll tell you, I started my career in 2017. I was working with this organization. I managed a couple of projects there. I moved from there. I went to another organization. By then, I was not a freelancer. And then finally, I became a freelancer. I joined Upwork. As you can see from my profile, I've worked with X, Y, and Z people. I've managed teams of different sizes. I've worked with clients. I've dealt with clients directly. I summarize everything about myself in less than 2 or 3 minutes. I explain myself. And guys, let me tell you, this approach, I have won a job just by introducing myself. That was the only question that the client asked. By just the way I introduced myself and I summarized my profile. And then the client just laughed that you just summarized the profile, and I took all of the questions from your profile. So I don't have any other question to ask you, but I think you are a good fit for this job. Let's get started. Just like that. Because I don't want to waste the client's time. I don't want to go and tell you, oh, I am skilled in this, I am skilled in that. No. I am going to tell you about the history, the things that I've done. And that's the difference. Because why would the client want to hire you? The main reason is because they want to make sure that you are fit for the job, right? And how do they make sure of that? It's based on your past experience. They don't care about what you say, oh, I'm skilled in this, I'm skilled in that. No, they care about what you have done in the past. The clients actually want to know what you have done. And that is why they tell us about yourself. Just summarize your history, your experience. If you are new, you don't have much experience, that's why I always advise newbies, people that are coming up to Upwork, volunteer. You can even contact me and say, Jesse, I want to volunteer. I want to work for you. I can give you some tasks. Volunteer. Learn to do something for people for free. It does not matter. Just do it a month or two. And then what will happen is you will have a portfolio of things that you've done. Once you've done that, then you can use those for interview purposes. You can tell the client, say, oh, I'm new to Upwork. I'm just coming from the university. However, I have volunteered for a particular client. I worked with the client X, Y, and Z. This was what I was doing. You can even bring the volunteers. You can even bring that job to Upwork so that you have a history of it there. And then the person can provide you a feedback. I have done it for a couple of people, and those people are currently making thousands of dollars on the platform. They volunteered, they worked for me, and then I gave them feedback. They used that feedback to start their business. This is practical. What I'm showing you guys, I'm not telling you crap here. That's why this is, I don't know. This is like, what I'm giving you is worth thousands of dollars. These ideas that I'm sharing with you. You don't know how important. I know some of you guys might be thinking, oh, I need a quality video. I need an high-end video. Does not land you a job. What lands you a job is experience. Somebody who is experienced on the platform, giving you real things that's currently happening. It's not about English. It's not about high-end or super notch videos. It's about what you are going to use to get that first job. That's why I want you to subscribe to this channel. All right. So now to the next point. So when actually I go there, I'll make sure I answer those questions, and I'll always answer like an expert. It's not about trying to tell them how skilled I am. I'm very focused on the questions that I'm being asked, and then I answer them like an expert. And how do an expert respond to questions? That should be your research. Go and ask ChatGPT or whatever system that you're using. Learn how to answer questions like an expert. How do you respond when somebody asks you a question and you don't know how to, and then practice that. When you get to the interview, be confident. Know that if you don't get the job, you are not going to die. But you are there to showcase that you are an expert, and you are there to show them that you are above that job. They cannot intimidate you because they are hiring you, right? And most, I will tell you, 99.9% of clients, they are not intimidating. In fact, they are very calm because they want you to be calm so that you can tell them the things that they want to hear, so that you guys can move forward with the hiring. They want to hire, move on. They want somebody that can help them solve their problem. So if you ask me how to tell you about myself, those are the things that I normally talk about. Next, after the interview, I will send a note. a short note that, hello, I actually enjoyed talking with you today. It was an amazing interview. I would like to know when I will hear from you. They will tell you, oh, I will get back to you in a few days or so. So, okay, thank you. See, in any case, whatever the outcome, I appreciate meeting you today. You are a great person. Something like that. You forget about it. Move on to the next job. And that's the most important thing. Don't hold on to a job. It's not yours until it is given to you. And even when it is given to you, it does not mean that it's the only job that you have. All right? You are a freelancer. It means you can apply for many jobs. Once I'm finished with an interview, I send that note, I move on to apply for another job. I keep applying until I get those jobs that I want. Then I will just stay there, work until if I lose one job, then I move on to the next. You understand? So you don't get complacent. You don't get like, oh, this is my job. I don't want to lose this job. This job is high paying. No. Oh, the client is so nice. No. Clients can be nice to you in an interview. That does not mean that they are going to hire you. Maybe there is somebody, and if I am not hired for a job, this is how I think about it. It's either because there is somebody who is way better than me, who performed way better than me, or there is somebody who the client has hired before and they also applied for this job, or maybe there is something that the client is looking for which I don't have, and that is perfectly fine. The person is the client. I'm not the client. I'm not the one who has a problem. The client knows what they are looking for. I am not a match. That's the key word. I am not a match for that job. So what I do, I move on. I don't feel discouraged. I don't feel like, oh, I'm not good enough, or maybe I missed something. No. I review my process. I continue doing what I'm doing. All right. This is a freelance, it's a consulting. The client has all the power to hire and fire. And you have to know this. Guys, there you have it. Like, this is what I wanted to share with you on this video. And let me know if there is any other topic that you want us to delve in. And I'm going to have these conversations with you. I will not stop, because I want you to learn, and not just learn, but I want you to land those jobs that you really desire. And to do that, you need enough experience. And sometimes you need detailed explanation, even explanation that might not make sense to you, but later it will come to you when you are in an interview, and then you find it useful that, oh, Jesse was talking about this. Let me apply this and see what happens. One more thing before I close this video. Don't ever allow a client to ask you a question that they themselves cannot answer. If a client asks you a question that is really challenging and you don't have an answer to it, maybe directly, tell them what you normally do. All right? It's about you telling them that you are, say for instance, a client asked me, how do you know that a project is at risk? I don't go and give them a PMP answer or Prince 2 answer. No. Those are things that they already know. I will tell them something like, all right, for me as a product manager, one way that I know that the product has a problem, or the product is having a problem, or there is an issue with this product, is when we miss demos. When the team miss demo, so I develop a demo plan. If we miss demo, then I know that it's a big red flag. It's not just a red flag, it's a big red flag. So I'll go now and check. I will check for different things. For instance, the delivery plan. Are we delivering on time? Is there a developer who is not showing up? Maybe the performance. Is there a developer who is sick? So I will ask different questions and try to settle until I identify the problem that is leading us. Maybe the milestones are too big, or maybe the sprint plan is too large for the team, and the team cannot their velocity is not up to that speed, so we need to reduce. So all of these things I have. So if I answer that question the way I have just done, I'm going to ask you as the client, what do you normally do? What's your experience? What's your expectation with this kind of question? If you how do you identify that a project has a problem from your current processes? I'm going to ask you again the question, because this is a discussion. It's not like you're going to ask me, I don't know everything. I don't know everything, but I'm coming to your team. I want to contribute. I will tell you what I used to do, but then you also have to tell me what's your expectations when it comes to that question. Because you are not just going to ask me that question and you think I will not ask you. Do you understand? So by doing that, you are challenging the client. And now the client keeps thinking about that question. What will happen is this. the clients will talk to other people that have not watched this video, and those people will start struggling to answer that question. At the end of the day, the clients will say, I think Jesse is a good person, because at the end of the day, we'll be able to discuss. I'll be able to discuss more with Jesse other than other freelancers. So they will prefer to hire me than you. You see? So this is a point, guys. This is how I do it. It's just those simple, minute techniques that I wanted to share with you. This is the whole package. There is nothing there. I have not added or reduced anything. I'm just telling you the way I have been doing it. It's no magic. It's not like I have competed with the top-notch freelancers on Upwork, and I've won jobs that sometimes I even wonder why. And if you keep your relationship with the client very positive, the client will come back to you and hire you later. So guys, thank you very much for watching this video. And if you have not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button now and hit the notification bell, so that whenever I drop a video, you'll be the first to be notified, and also share the content so that more people will see this. Thank you very much. See you on the next one.